Hey everybody, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Pricing WordPress podcast. This episode is like a bookend to the series, I guess. I didn't want to go on too long at the end of my episode with Jason, but I thought if I recorded a little extra episode here just to explain, I guess, why I'm stopping, why I started, and what it's been like to do a podcast. So I guess start at the start. Why did I start the podcast? Well, I started because it was a kind of long-term itch that I was having. Podcasting was something I'd been thinking about for a long time. I love listening to podcasts, and that mix of creativity and technicality always appeals to me, and I just wanted to give it a go. So when the idea of a pricing podcast came into my mind, I just had to do it. So I did. And in some ways it was a lot easier than I expected. The easiest thing of all was getting guests, really. I mean, nearly everybody I asked said yes, which was absolutely amazing. So that was cool. I got to talk to a lot of people that I would consider mentors, heroes even, which is just an incredible opportunity. So if you ever want to have one-on-one conversations with people you really admire, start a podcast. So that was great. So got things up and running. Obviously did a few episodes, and I found it really hard. And it was hard kind of most of the way through once I had the guests lined up. So then you need to think about what to ask them. That wasn't too bad. I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask. But the actual interview itself I found really difficult, and it was something I actually don't think I was particularly good at. And I had to do it to learn that. But I found holding the kind of overall arc of a interview together whilst also being present enough in the conversation to delve into what the guest was saying, I found that really difficult, and I've come away from the experience with a whole new level of respect for people that do this well, and for expert podcasters. So fair play to all them, because it's not easy. I also found the editing experience, although it was kind of fun, the software that I was using Audacity. I never really got the hang of it, and I found it frustrating. I did some kind of audio work when I was back at school, and I was really good at it back then, and I was really fast. I found the experience, quite frustrating and time consuming, and also creating the marketing materials for it. So I was slicing up all the shows into little clips and publishing them on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. It was all very, very time consuming. And at the end of all that, once I'd spent 2 days on an episode or whatever it was, there was just no feedback, and I found that really difficult. I mean, the only feedback I was getting was the numbers of downloads, and that's kind of addictive to watch that number go up, and you keep refreshing and checking and see how many people have listened. But it's kind of hollow. It's kind of like a hollow victory, and I think what I really wanted was to start conversations, and that never really happened. So on Twitter, that there wasn't really any particular conversation going on. It just felt like I was kind of publishing these things into the void, and I think that was one of the most unsatisfying parts of the whole podcasting experience. That all said, I might do it again in the future. I might even do another season of the Pricing WordPress podcast. I might do something else entirely. I'm not sure yet, but it's been an experience. It's been a mostly enjoyable experience, and I have to give a really, really big thank you to all the guests that came on the show, that gave their time for our benefit. I really, really, really appreciate that, and I really appreciate everyone who's listened. So thank you very much if you're still listening now. Thank you. Thanks for joining me on the journey, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something from it that was of some value, whether it's business value, personal value to your mental health, whatever it was. I just hope there's something in this for you that made your life a little bit better. Who knows, I might be back sometime in the future on this podcast or another one, but in the meantime, if you did want to get in touch, the best place at the minute is probably LinkedIn. If you do a search for Keith Devon and connect with me there. Alternatively, get in touch over at highrise.digital. I hope to hear from you. Thanks. Take care.